Hey, team, recording in progress. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I'm going to record that locally. So I'm going to stop that and I'm going to record it locally, guys, because one of these sections I may want to add. So I'm going to stop recording and then I'm going to start the recording myself. Bear with me 1 minute. Record to computer. Got it. There we go. Because I may want to insert some of this into the onboard training. Um, that we're going to talk about today. But so I'm going to record it to my computer. All right, we're zooming on YouTube now, correct? And we're also on Zoom. I got my screen blurred out. I'm going to open it up in a minute. Hey, welcome. David Rutz is my name from David Allen Capital. And excited to have you here today and looking forward to covering this information with you on the agent update call. Hey, if this is your first Zoom, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We can't thank you enough for saying yes to DAC. We want you to have success. If you know anything about our company, you know the only way we earn money is if you earn money. It's the only way. We don't earn money on your activity. We don't earn money on your excitement. We don't earn money on your enthusiasm or your commitment. Other companies may because they charge you to be involved, etc., and sell programs and sell trainings. And there's nothing wrong with any of that. That's just not our model. We go with a pay on performance model. We want to earn only when you're earning. And we're okay if that means we don't earn much because we haven't done an effective enough job helping you earn much. Right. So we get a percentage of what you get, and we're okay with that. And if we're not okay with that, we shouldn't be in this space because this is a performance-based industry. And same goes with you. If you build a team of people and you don't earn anything, it means you're not helping your team succeed. And whereas in a lot of companies, you can earn just for getting them excited and getting them to write a check and getting them to put a auto ship together or whatever. And again, nothing wrong with those models if that's what you want to subscribe to. But we're a performance-based business here. And we love our model, which says you rock, we roll. You don't rock, we don't roll. And it's really simple. So glad to have you. And I'm going to be talking about some things. Everything we talk about is trying to help you win because otherwise it's a waste of time, right? I don't want to slow you down. I want to speed you up. We don't earn money unless you earn money, right? So hopefully that is well known by everybody. You don't question our intent or our agendas. Our agenda is one thing: get you making six figures this year. That's our agenda, or hitting your goal. If your goal is just to help one business a year, then we want to help you accomplish that goal. But if your goal is to help one business a week and you're not yet, then we're failing, right? And we got to help you succeed at that. Now, you're responsible for your end, but the reality is we're also responsible to prepare you. So today's preparation, and I want to go through some stuff with you. Before I get started, I want to tell you this: our industry is ripe for harvest. It's ready for harvest. And all that means, the Bible talks about Jesus came along and he said, the 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 world is ready for harvest now. And that just meant they're ready for his message of the gospel, the good news of the coming of God and the Son of God and eternity and salvation. The world was ready for it, and so the disciples could go out and just share the good news, just share it, share the gospel, and there was people ready for it. The world had become right, and they didn't have to be salespeople; they just had to communicate with love, and there'd be a lot. Guess what? Guess what? Our industry, the business owner industry, is ripe for harvest right now, meaning all you got to do is share the good news of a business funding platform. That's all you got to do. You don't have to sell them on capital. You just got to share the good news that a funding platform exists. And that funding platform can find them the best offer. And they can say yes or no to that offer. But for one application, they can get the best offer from 20 plus providers and not have to go apply at all those places. And that one offer could fuel their business. It could help get them out of that pinch or can help take them from this level to that level profit wise. So that's the good news. You're not responsible for whether they get a funding, take the funding, apply for funding. You're not responsible for that. Just like going back to that, the world is ready for harvest for the disciples. Well, guess what? And Jesus taught them, you're going out and sowing 4 seeds. And sometimes the seeds are going to fall on a stony path and the birds are going to eat the seed and it's not going to take root. And other times it's shallow soil and it'll take root quick, but it'll burn out as soon as the sun comes. And other times it'll take root, but there's a lot of thorns and weeds. It'll strangle out that good growth. And then only 1 out of 4 seeds is going to fall on good, deep soil where it's going to take root, but then grow and multiply 10, 100-fold. Well, it just showed the other 3s, it doesn't matter. The seed's the seed, but the soil matters. You can't determine anything except, did you share the good news called DAC's funding platform? That's all you can do. If you're not sharing that seed and you got a pack of seeds in your closet, if I gave you a pack of tulip seeds, I guess those aren't seeds, but if I give you a pack of tomato seeds or whatever kind of seeds you'd plant, and you keep it in that little envelope, that little package, and you put it up in your cupboard, guess what? You're getting no tomatoes. But if you take those seeds and put them in a plant, potted soil, good soil, nutrified soil, the likelihood is you'll have some tomatoes. So we can't guarantee that. Well, I can make you one guarantee. If you don't plant the seed called the business funding platform into business owners' minds, I guarantee you'll never have a funding. I guarantee you'll make zero with us. You won't lose money, but you'll make zero. I don't want you to make zero. I can guarantee with everything about you will make zero. Another thing I can guarantee is we won't make a dime on you until you've made $1. I guarantee that. We'll never make a dime on you until you've first made $1. Those are 2 guarantees I can guarantee you. And that is, you don't plant seeds, the good news called our funding platform, you'll make zero. So first of all, how often are you planting the seed right now? Can you do it 100 times a day? You should. If you're full time, especially 100 plus, 200 plus. How many times can you get the word out this month? 100 seeds a month? Well, that's only 3 a day. I mean, that's what we'd say the bare minimum is 2 a day, 2 emails a day, 10 in play. That's the bare minimum. You should not expect to make a lot of money doing that. You should expect, if you do just 2 a day, 10 in play, you should expect about 6 to 12 fundings a year. And, maybe you'll make, 6,000 to 12,000 this year, maybe more if you just do that. So that's extra money. That's good. Nothing wrong with that. Unless you want more. If your goals are higher, guess what you need to do? Plant more seeds. You're responsible, not us, for that, right? So it's real easy for you to lever up your sales. It's common sense that if you're not earning what you want to make, then you're not talking to enough business owners to get enough who the soil is ripe, or you're not being good sowers of seed. You're just throwing it out the window and hoping it plants. No, put it in soil. Have a good conversation with a business owner, right? So you do your part, it does its part. The harvest is ready. Business owners need this. They just need to trust you enough because of your conversation that you win. That's why we say start warm market. Start warm market. Our business funding training says make sure every business owner in your phone first knows about your funding before you worry about people that aren't in your phone. 1-to-1 warm market is best, and 1-to-many social network posts, things like that. Get the word out. I've someone who's in my Facebook group put a post up yesterday and said, hey, my son now works for a roofing company. If you happen to need a roof, let me know. I reached out and I said, hey, I heard we might have had some hail damage. I'm happy to have him come take a look. And he's now reached out to me because of a social post. He might have a client because his mom put a social post up that her son is now in roofing sales, right? So did you put a social post up yet about your business funding platform? How many times have you put it up? If you don't put it up, how many clients can you expect to get from social posting? 0. How many direct messages have you sent to people through your Facebook? How many business owners in your Facebook community, in your friends group, did you go out and send them a direct message? Hey, I see you own a florist. Hey, I see you this. Hey, I see you this. Hey, we're friends on Facebook and I see this. Or, hey, you're in my, I know we haven't talked in a little while, but I know you're a business owner and I'm in business funding. I just want to introduce this platform we have in case you ever need funding. How many times have you done that today before this call? How many times will you do it tomorrow? See, that's what we do. That's what we do, right? We're in the business of educating business owners so that if and when they need funding, where do they go? You. That's all your job is to do. Share the good news. The industry is ripe for harvest, but only some will go share the good news. Not everyone will. And you get to decide if that's you or not. So that's the first, hopefully that, takes you where you need to go in this business. But I wanted to give you a few other items that are on the whiteboard here. I'm going to go through some stuff. First of all, don't forget the business funding training and the quick reference sheets talked about. We used to have 3 buckets for funding. We'd had the instant funding at Giggle, instant funding at Biddy, and Bank Breezy Bigger. Now we just have instant funding at Giggle and Bank Breezy Bigger. Under 15,000 goes to Bank Breezy Bigger funding. I'm sorry, over 15,000 goes to Bank Breezy Bigger. Under 15,000 all goes to Giggle now, or personal bank account. Now, if they're in New York or California under 15,000, we can't get them funded. The answer is sorry. You don't live in a state where we can do funding at this time. You got to be over $15,000 to get to use Giggle. I'm sorry, to use Bank Breezy, and under 15 is Giggle only, and Giggle is not in New York or California. And that's based on the laws of those lands. Blame the governors, blame the people, not the biddy, not the funding company, right? So there's certain regulations in those states that they're anti-business. What can we say? So it is what it is for those who live there and plant business there. We've got for over 15, all goes to Bank Breeze. That's number one I wanted to say. Number two, quick reference sheets versus marketing information. I want you to understand how this is set. Quick reference sheets is training information. Business, postings for clients is marketing information. They're different. Why? For training, when we say your FICO can be a 450, that's true. A FICO score could be a 450 and they could get approved, even though the marketing stuff says 500 on some pages and 550 on others. Okay? Because we set marketing minimums so that there's a proper expectation in the client's mind. But we set training expectations to you so that you know. Let me give an example. Can someone get approved for funding with a 475 FICO score? Yes. If and only if they got amazing revenue, been in business a long period of time, have a great average daily balance, have everything else going well for them. The FICO score is not going to kill it. But if they don't have everything amazing, the FICO score will kill it. Now, what do we put on the website? 450 and get a bunch of people frustrated that have a 475 and go, you said 450 was the minimum and it's not the minimum. No. So we say 550, right? From a marketing perspective. But you as agents need to know, never have someone not apply because of FICO score, but know the FICO score will hurt them if they don't have an amazing business. Make sense? So you can't there's 100 scenarios. You can't cover them all in a marketing postcard. So you put 3,000 minimum revenue because that is for our Giggle, right? And that way you can use it for small companies and big companies. You put 550 FICO score so that people who you're talking to don't have an expectation. Oh, cool, I can get approved if I have a 500. No, you can, but the likelihood is real slim unless you've got everything else going good. If you have above a 550, now even with not real good stuff, decent, you could probably still get approved. So we put some parameters in there from a marketing perspective that are a little different than your training quick reference sheets, all right? So when you say, why are they different? Now you know why they're different. So you're going to see on quick reference sheets a lower FICO score because we're training you as an agent. That doesn't kill the deal if everything else is great. But from a marketing perspective, you're going to see a higher FICO because we're trying to protect the expectation. Make sense? So that way, and Biddy used to have a 550 minimum where Giggle doesn't. Giggle, Giggle doesn't care what your score is. They don't care. But they pull a hard credit pull. But they don't care what the score is. They pull it to verify who you are, because they're an instant funder and they're online and there's a lot of fraud. So the only reason they pull an actual FICO or an actual credit report isn't because they're checking your credit. It's because they're verifying identity. It's the way they verify identity. So just so you know, our other lenders, none of them care about your full credit report. They care about your FICO score. So it's different. That's why we're trying to cover it all in our marketing. So for your sake in training, There is a hard credit pull on Giggle, as we say in the onboard training. It's only in the last stage once they've accepted the funding, because they're not going to do a hard credit pull and verify identity until the last stage when you've already accepted it, signed the contracts. So there could be a decline on the very end. But about 7%, 7 to 10% get declined on the very end because of identity, not because of credit score. They've already looked at your bank statements. They already know whether you're paying your Verizon late or not. They already know whether you're paying your car payment late or not. They don't care about your credit score because people have learned how to increase their FICO scores. Credit repair companies drive FICO scores up. So people aren't even really relying on that number as much as they used to. That's why for us, we got to see the bank statements more than anything. They could have an 800 FICO score and get declined if their bank statements aren't good. And they can have great bank statements and a 500 FICO score and get approved. It's not hard to get your FICO score, and you can pay a credit repair company money and get your FICO score to jump a little bit for a season, right? So that credit, lending companies have learned to not really rely on the FICO score. There's a big scam out there of if you dispute a thing and they don't respond, it comes off your credit. Okay, well then your score goes up, and people know that already. Lenders already know this. So anyone who's tells people that, hey, if we can get your FICO score up where you can get more money for sure, is not accurate. There are some companies that aren't sophisticated who look at FICO score only, but most want to see other details because it's too easy to pad a FICO score now. All right. So quick reference sheets and training marketing are going to be different sometimes. Next thing I want to talk about is the income producing asset. Okay. And what I mean by that is this. You got some numbers on the board here. These are all part of the comp plan. Okay. You've got personal commissions of 40% of bonus revenue. That's what you earn, 40% of bonus revenue, right? Or you can get another 20, 30, or 40% in bonus. All right, let me pull this forward a little. 20 or 30% bonus, so you can get up to 80% of bonus revenue, right? So again, let's use $100,000 funding. Our goal is for bonus revenue to be 10% of that, or 10,000, but that's the highest it's going to be. As the industry matures, that number is getting lower and lower and lower and lower. Typically, let's just say that's 8,000 bonus revenue. Okay, 8,000 bonus revenue. On that, you're getting 40% minimum. $3,200, right? Which is about 3.2% of the funding amount if it was 100,000. Sometimes it'll be a full 4%. It used to be, we had some standard commissions we got from some of our partners where it was always 10%. Bonus revenue was always 10% because we earned that much, right? But we're not earning that much in most providers anymore. Most providers, we earn less, so we can't have 10% bonus revenue and we're not getting 10% bonus revenue, right? So bonus revenue is based on what we earn. So if this number is lower, if this 100,000 was only 4,000 bonus revenue, wait a minute, why is bonus revenue only 4,000? Because we earned a lot less on this deal. To make the deal happen, we earned a lot less. We earned half of what we did on this one. Does that make sense? So typically our bonus revenue is between 8 to 9% of the funding. It used to be 10%. Sometimes it's 10. Sometimes it's 10. But I would start to look at more. It's usually about 8 to 9% is bonus revenue. So 8,000 bonus revenue on a $100,000 deal, you get 40%. Is what? $3,200, right? This is your personal commission. Now, if you're amped up, you get another 20%. So what's 20%? It's another $1,600. If you're amped up, same funding, you made more money. What if you're double amped? Another 10%, another 800. Because you're amped up, or double amped. And what if you're triple amped? Another 800. So you could get as much as $6,400, which is 80% of that. 40, 60, 70, or 80% of bonus revenue is what you earn based on whether you've gotten clients in the last month or not. As you get more clients, you become amped up, then double amped, and then triple amped, and then you stay triple amped, you're making 80%, right? Okay, so you all know this. You got this from the comp plan. This is how you can make significant money on your personal clients alone. That's great. But the base commission was what? $3,200. Right? That was your base commission, 40%. The others are bonuses you get extra. Now, you have an enroller, as do I, and you may have enrolled people. So let's say this is me, David, did this. I'm happy. Why? I just made $3,200 for helping someone, a business owner. That's a business owner. I helped a business owner get $100,000. They're happy. I'm happy, and you're my enroller. If you're my enroller, that's what this says here. You enroll me. You make 10% minimum of my base commission. 10% of my 3,200. Now, I may have made more. I may have made bonuses, but you only get it on the base commission, 3,200. But you make 10% of this, which is what? $320 you earned on me. You're in 320 because you're the enroller, 10%. Minimum, you get 10%, even if you've done nothing yourself, right? But if you're engaged by getting a client in the last 60 days, you get 25%. What would be 25% of 3,200? 640 plus 160. So 740, 800. 25%. Oh, yeah, I could have just did 25% of 3,200, be faster. So $800 you could have earned instead of this. Which would you rather earn? 320 or 800 on my funding? 800. How do you get 800? You're engaged. How do you become engaged? Get a client, and you'll be engaged for 60 days. And now every funding I get, you're getting 25% of my commission instead of 40. I'm sorry, instead of 10. Got that? Now, how do you make 50%? Because you either get 10, 25, or 50 on me, on my commission. If you're amped up, so this is engaged, and this is amped. If you're amped up, you get 50%. What's 50% of 3,200? 1,600. So you, on my $3,200 commission, are going to get 320, 800, or 1,600. You determine that, not us. The funding is the funding. I made 3,200. Woo! I'm the agent. I'm happy. 3,200. Clients pumped up. They made 100 grand. And you, as my enroller, you get a minimum of 320 bucks. It could be 800 or it could be 1,600. How? What determines this? If you got a client in the last 30 days of a certain size, you're amped up. Go watch the comp plan details if you don't know how to get amped up. So it's 10% minimum, engages 25, 50 amped. So when you're amped, you earn more personal commission, but you also earn more enroller commission, right? Okay, so if you haven't got a client yet, do you still earn on anyone you personally enroll? Yes, 10% minimum. No matter what, you get 10% of what I earn, even if you've not qualified for anything. That wasn't always the case. It is now. So no matter what, if I go out and help someone get, David goes out and helps someone gets 40,000 now. And let's just say it's 3,000 bonus revenue. And I make 40% of 3,000, which is what? 1,200 bucks? I make 1,200 because I made 40% of the bonus revenue. Bonus revenue is this. I make 1,200 minimum. I could make more, but minimum is 1,200. The base commission that you earn on, you're going to earn 10% of that 1,200 or 120 bucks. Tomorrow, you're going to get it. The funding happens today. You're paid tomorrow. It's not next month. It's when I get paid, you get paid. 10% of what I make, you make. Or 25% of what I make, you make. 25% of that is 300. Or you make 50%, 600. You're going to make one of these $3 amounts on my $40,000 funding with 3,000 bonus revenue. You're going to make 120, 300, or 600. Which one do you want to make? That one, or that one? See, you getting a client helps you earn more on your own clients, but it also helps you earn more on everyone you personally enroll. All right, so you got this. Good. Now, I want to show you one more thing. We also have overrides. So not only do you get this on the people you personally enroll, but what about everyone in their team? 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 And this one here has recruited 30 people. Their team? What about all them? There's overrides. And so if you're a DAC 2, meaning you've gotten 2 clients, or let's say you're a DAC 4, you've gotten 4 clients, and they're over 40,000 in bonus revenue, right? You're a DAC 4, then you get 10 plus 5 plus 15 for a total of 30% override on your team, on their base commission. It could be down here, this person gets a funding. $100,000 funding, 8,000 bonus revenue, times 40%, $3,200. This agent made on this level. Yay, they're excited. Client's excited. And you look up above you, is this person a DAC? This enroller gets 10%. So the enroller got $320. She's happy. Happy, 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 happy. Everybody's happy. This person has done nothing yet, doesn't earn anything. They're not a DAC 1 to get an override. They're not a DAC 2 or a DAC 4. This person hasn't done anything yet. This person hasn't done anything yet. This one hasn't done anything yet. None of them are positioned to get overrides. They only get enroller bonuses. This one got 320. This one wasn't a DAC 1 yet to make 10%. If this one had gotten 1 client in the past and was a DAC 1, they'd get 10% of that 3,200 because they're the DAC 1. They'd get a 10% override, so they'd get 320. And then this 5% of 3,200 is 160. It starts looking up line. Who's the first DAC 2 up the line? DAC 2, nope. DAC 2, nope. Oh, you're a DAC 2. You're a DAC 4, actually. So you'd get this 5% of that. So you'd get that 160. And then it goes, okay, 15% of this, 3,200, is 320, 480. So $480 is looking for the first DAC 4 up the line. DAC 4, nope. Oh, you. So you get another 15% of that, 480. So you just made $640 or 20% of the 3,200 commission. So these enroller overrides only go to people who position themselves with fundings. So when you get a funding, you now are earning more on your future fundings. You're earning more on your personally enrolled, and you're positioned to get an override down on your team. Does this make sense? Okay. Again, watch the comp plan details if this doesn't make sense. But in every day you go without getting clients is a day that those paychecks are going by you. You get the enroller no matter what, but level 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 12, someone gets a funding, it's looking for the first person up the line who's a DAC 1, and they get 10% of that person's commission. So the enroller gets 10, but then the first DAC 1 gets 10. And then the first DAC 2 gets 5. And then the first DAC 4 gets 15. We want to pay that to you. So we pay it to people who've led by example by getting clients. So build a team, yes. Get clients, yes. The combo of both is called performance. And performance we pay for. If you're not going to get clients, we can't give you overrides because we're rewarding the ones who are getting clients. We only do revenue when we get clients. So if you're here and excited and talking on Facebook and showing up to the Zooms every week and you're here cheerleading, that's great. But if you don't get a client, how are you helping the company? Well, I'm a cheerleader from the sidelines. Okay. We don't sell jerseys. We don't sell hats. We don't sell popcorn, right? So we don't benefit from your cheerleading. We only benefit from your performance, and you only benefit from you don't benefit from being a cheerleader either. It's a fraternity at that point, or a sorority. So We say get clients and we'll award you an overrides. Get clients and we'll pay you 60% instead of 40 or 70 or 80. Get clients and we'll, instead of giving you 10, we'll give you 25 and 50. So no matter what, you always get paid on the people you personally enroll. No matter what, you get 10% of their base commission. Okay. So no matter what, you're getting 10% of anyone you personally enroll. But there's a lot of work going on down here that you're not paid on unless you get clients. DAC 1, and then DAC 2, and then DAC 4. Okay. That's how you get overrides, is by getting clients. Now we have a 7-level pay as well you can earn on. That's through performance as well. So you can get paid on all those. We only guarantee you a 1-level pay plan. Everything else must be qualified for by getting clients. Pretty simple, right? We didn't used to give you this. This was not guaranteed. This was, you had to earn it. You got 10% for your first 90 days. After that, you had to get a client. Now we're saying, hey, we're going to give you the 10% no matter what. We're going to do that no matter what, at least for a season. So we're doing right now, and we're still doing it. And we have no intention of pulling that out anytime soon. So do you know that every time a new agent starts, the likelihood of them getting the funding in the first 30 days is higher than your old team's likelihood of getting a funding this month, even though they're not experienced? Do you know that every time you introduce a new person, this is me, you introduce me today, I have no experience, but what do I have? Warm market. And you know what warm market is? Warm market are business owners that may need funding. And what I have that this person over here who's been involved for 2 years doesn't have, this person who's been involved 2 years has experience, but they don't have a new, fresh, warm market. They're using other traditional cold outreach, circling back to old clients and stuff. But this has got a very fresh, warm market. The easiest way for you to grow your warm market is recruit a new agent. Every time you recruit a new agent, their warm market just became your warm market. So when you introduce me, the likelihood of me turning into a funding here without experience is higher than this person over here with a lot of experience. A lot of experience, no experience. This person is more likely to produce a funding this month. This one's more likely than this one as a percentage. Now, obviously, you'll get some out here that are super good and they're going to produce every week. And this person's not more likely than that super producer. But a lot of your people aren't super producers. They have a lot of experience. They know our funding buckets. They know how to reach me personally on my mobile phone. They know what type of text I reply to faster. They know what subject lines to put in my emails to get me to reply right away. They know how to handle support. They know how to handle every issue that comes up. They know what emails mean from Bank Breezy. They could tell you, they could do the training. Doesn't mean they're going to get a client. So you're going to have producers and you're going to have knowledge. Knowledge on ice is pointless. Ignorance on fire pays. Ignorance, meaning you don't know what you don't yet not know. You don't yet know what you don't know. But you do know this funding platform is amazing. You do know that banks don't approve 80% of the business. You do know we're going to get the best offer, and that's all you need to know. And so with that enthusiasm, you go, man, banks can't help business owners, but we can. Holy crap, this is awesome. And I can go out and help business owners, and I get on average about 3% of the funding, and I'm going to help fuel their growth. This is awesome. Ignorance on fire, it's called. They don't know what they don't know, but they're enthusiastic. They know a ton, but they're not enthusiastic. What would you rather have? Someone who's enthusiastic about what they believe about our funding, or someone who knows it all but doesn't have any enthusiasm? Knowledge on ice makes you nothing. It actually wastes your time. It creates for great coffee conversations of everyone who knows and knows and knows. It's like the Christian who can recite the Bible but loves nobody. What good is that? Just because you know the Bible, but you don't live it, doesn't mean you're helping the kingdom of God. Just because you know DAC, if you're not talking to any clients and you're not helping the community you live in to get funding or have knowledge, what difference does it make that you know our Bible? It doesn't matter that you know DAC inside and out if you're sitting on it. The industry is ripe for harvest. So it's our job to share the good news. That's all we're doing is sharing good news. Did you know of the funding platform called Bank Breezy from DAC? Did you know of it? You didn't know of it? Oh, I just want to tell you about it then. I work with them. Did you know about it? No, I got to tell you then. Did you know about it? No, I got to tell you then. Did you know? Have you heard of? No, oh, I got to tell you about it then. Have you heard about this? No, I haven't. I got to tell you then. Sorting question. Are you familiar with? No, I got to tell you then. It doesn't matter if they need funding right now. They will not unlearn the Bank Breezy story once you educate them. Do you know? Oh man, that's what these people do. That's what new people do. They're enthusiastic. They're excited about what they got their hands on. They don't look at it like it's old news. They don't look at it like, yeah, they're not yawning at all. They're going, this is impeccable. This is the best thing I've ever seen. This is amazing. I got to tell the world. And so when you recruit a new person, the odds of them getting a funding in the next 30 days are so much higher than your older people, unless they've been producing every month already. If they're already producing every month, you know you got certain people who are going to produce every month and you're going to get an override on them. Good for you. You're going to get the enroller bonus. You know it. You just know it because they do it. They get a deal every week or every 2 weeks. And you're just going to forever keep getting paid on them, right? It's a great income producing asset. But your new ones, if you got 20 agents over here that you recruited in the last 6 months and they're not doing anything, you keep working with them. But man, you get new people. You recruit new people because the new people are going to produce more than the old on ice. So don't stop recruiting. You never stop building. University of Michigan right now they won their first game barely last night. But last year they had the worst record in the Big Ten. Out of 16 teams, they were last in basketball. I'm talking. They were last. They won the Big Ten tournament last week. How? Transfer portal. You know what transfer portal is? All new players who didn't play for Michigan last year. They brought them all in. College basketball, unfortunately, has something called NIL, money, that I can name, image, and likeness. We can now pay you to play for us. And Michigan's got the number one alumni association in the world, largest alumni association in the world. You know what else they have? A lot of money to pay players. It's not hard to get someone to leave Yale and come to Michigan or wherever. You only need 10 guys on your team. And if you got $1 million for each one of them, they're making more than the NFL and NBA. It's not hard. Well, guess what, guys? Guess what you have? Guess what you have? Every other company out there that's building a team today, there's a fee to start. Okay, so fee, number one, products that are usually overpriced. So Me Too product, overpriced product, so non-competitive. This is who you're competing with. Non-competitive product, Me Too product, license required. If it's like real estate or life insurance, license required, which means what? Delay. Delay. What else does it require? How hard is it for this person that you recruit to make money on them? It's hard for them to get started. And then what do you earn on them? You don't earn unless you're buying product every month or qualifying every month with something. Here, you get 10% no matter what. So it's hard to build a team. You've got what University of Michigan has to build a new roster. The best, most competitive financial model for a new home-based business. They can come to NIL and you're going to get name, image, and likeness. The number one quarterback in all of America last year was going to go to Alabama or LSU or something because they were paying him. And Michigan just came along and paid more. They grew up 10 miles from Michigan Stadium and weren't going to go here because of money. And guess what got him to change his mind and come back to Michigan? Money. I don't like it because he could leave next year if someone pays him more money. They're like free agents every year. But the good news is this: you have what attracted what Michigan, how they got the number one quarterback in the country to sign money. You have, it's called easiest access to opportunity, opportunity to make the most money without any barriers to entry. And when you recruit them, they've got warm market. They want to go out and make money. They can get one funding, two fundings. The record we have is three fundings in the first week. The agent made like 14 grand in the first week. I think that's the record for our first week funding. If you enrolled me and I made 14 grand, you make 1,400, 10%. Or you make 25%. Or you make 50%. You can make 7 grand on me this week if you're amped up and I come in and make 14 grand. But it doesn't matter if I make 14 grand or 1,400. Every new person you recruit is an income producing asset. Say that, income producing asset. If you don't keep recruiting new and keep recruiting new, don't expect your old roster to produce if they didn't already produce. Keep encouraging them. We don't kick them out. We have trainings for them. We do Zooms like this for them. We do everything for free for them. We love on them, love on them, love on them, take their questions, answer their emails, return their texts, call them, give them more opportunities, give them trainings, give them this, give them that. We do everything we can for your old roster. But we don't assume they're going to produce. We encourage it. We help. But you are in business to what? To drive your growth, which means you always got to be doing new trainings. Why am I talking about this? Because I'm in the same business you are. I know our production comes from new agents and super productive agents. So you got the super producers and you got the new producers. Super and new, super and new, super and new. What do you got to do? Increase your new, reward your super. Increase your new, reward your super, and keep loving on those in between until they decide they want to step up and become a super. Or finally say, you know what? I am going to approach my warm market. I'm going to be like I'm brand new. What do we tell people? What do you tell someone who stumbles in their alcoholism? Hey, start again. Start day by day. Start again. What do you tell someone who stumbles in their diet? Hey, start over again. Start fresh. Don't beat yourself up. Start over again. What do we tell people who haven't done anything? Start fresh. Pretend you're brand new. Ask for your welcome letter again and start over. Watch that onboard training and do it like you're brand new. I say that to probably 50 people a week. Hey, pretend you're brand new. Just pretend you're brand new. Read your welcome email again and start over. Watch that onboard training again. Watch it again and pretend you're brand new and start doing what it said to do. Because you probably didn't do it. You probably didn't follow the training. You probably didn't reach out to your warm market. You probably didn't go out and talk to every business owner and say, hey, did you know about this? Are you aware of this? Educate everyone you know. You got to educate the business owners you know. If you're not educating the business owners you know, then you're knowledge on ice and you don't do yourself any good or the company any good. You actually hurt us. You hurt us because you take our time for support without generating revenue. So we have to pay for staff. We have to pay employees. You're part of our fixed costs. You're part of the fixed costs we have to pay for to provide the opportunity for the people who don't produce revenue. And then what happens is we have to limit what we can pay the top producers because we got to pay for the non-producers, right? Which isn't a real fair environment. That's why we have this. That's why we have this scale here, because we don't want the producers to pay a price because we're paying for all the non-producers, supporting them with something. That'd be unfair. Then you shouldn't be free. If you're going to be free and have the producers pay for the non-producers, that's not good. So fortunately, we do email support. We keep our support. We do Zoom supports. We keep our training costs to a minimum so that we can support 20,000 inactive agents without having to spend a lot of money, right? So we've got the model. We've been doing this 30 years. I said something on our corporate call today. I said, there's a law called the law of diminishing intent. I made up that law. It doesn't exist. If you found it, it's because someone copied us saying it. But we said it 20 years ago. And the law of diminishing intent says this. And I created this sitting in my own chair one day thinking, why is it so hard to get my old agents to be active? Because the longer you do something without success, the greater your the greater likelihood is you don't have intent to do anything anymore. So I call it the law of diminishing intent, which says the longer you go without making money, the greater the odds are that you won't do anything, which is common sense, right? But but I love looking at it that way as a law because if you allow people to go months without doing anything, the likelihood they'll ever do something is very slim. It's like with what at rest stays at rest, what in motion stay in motion. When someone's brand new, they have a warm market and a willingness to talk to their warm market if you encourage them that all they have to do is educate their warm market of the funding platform. They're not trying to get them to take funding. They're not trying to sell them a loan. They're not trying to strap them with debt. They're just trying to inform them of this amazing funding engine, this amazing funding solution. Forget what you're making on them. There's so many people hung up on earning commissions on people. Forget all that. If you earned a commission, it's because you help fuel their business. You don't earn a commission to educate. You only earn a commission when you educate people who go, I need that. I actually need that. I need that. I totally need that. You know, in sailing or in boating, you have to have a certain number of life jackets on the boat in case. And if you get pulled over by the Coast Guard, they want to check. Show me your, they always start with lifeguards. Show me your lifeguards. Okay, show me your flares, things to protect you. But they want to make sure every passenger has a life jacket in case your boat starts sinking, right? Of course, drowning. Nobody drowns with a life jacket on. Nobody drowns with a life jacket on. You can if you get injured, but the likelihood is most every person pulled from Lake St. Clair every year drowned did it without a life jacket on. So it's unfortunate. God forbid if that happened to anyone and anyone here, if you lost anyone, sorry for talking about it. I'm not insensitive to it. We have a boat and you're not allowed on the boat without a life jacket because of this. We're very, very cautious and it annoys the heck out of our teenage kids who want to get suntans, right? When you got to wear a life jacket, it's annoying. But so I'm sorry if I touched on anything for anyone on here, but the reason I mention this is because the Coast Guard requires life jackets on there because they know it's needed in emergencies. Unfortunately, we don't the state of Michigan doesn't require you know about Bank Breezy when you start a business. They don't require it. When you get that liquor license and open that restaurant, they don't require you know about alternative funding. They don't require it. They don't require things that can protect your business. They don't require it. They don't even tell you about legal coverage. They don't tell you, they just, hey, you sign up and you're a business owner, you're a business owner. They don't require that you have a CPA. They don't require you understand tax law. They don't require you understand unemployment. They don't require anything. You have to have the bravery to start a business, but you also have to have the smarts to protect yourself. And unfortunately, not every one of them is given a little Coast Guard thing that says you must know about Bank Breezy business funding when you start a business. Nobody's told that. You must file taxes at the end of the year. Nobody tells them that. They just got to know. Well, there's business owners who need to know about the Bank Breezy life jacket. They need to know about our life jacket. They need to know about our dinghy that can take them to the next shore. They need to know about our extra engines called funding that they can put on there, but they need to know about it, but they don't know about it because the state doesn't require it. So we're counting on you to be the Coast Guard. We're counting on you to step aboard the boat and go, hey, do you got the life jackets? Do you have the extra engine? Do you know about the fuel? Do you know about this? Yeah, it's called Bank Breezy. Are you aware of it? The business funding? Yeah, that's what I do. My job is to make sure you're aware of the tools you have available to you. One's called the Bank Breezy Business Funding Platform. It's my job to make sure you're aware of it. And that's all I'm here to do is make sure you're aware of it. That's it. I'm not here to make sure the chats are funny. I'm not here to make sure I got Facebook posts up. I'm not on the group. That's great. We love all the cheerleading. We love the fanfare. We love the friends. I'm not here to make sure David talked about that the right way. And I got to make sure that I got to remind him if he said that wrong to move this forward. And oh, I got to make sure I tell everyone what I know, that my knowledge is really valuable about DAC. And no, how you help DAC is business owners knowing about the life jacket called Bank Breezy, business owners knowing about the extra engines sitting there waiting to be fired up called fuel called Bank Breezy. That's how you help yourself. That's how you help Bank Breezy. And new people are more willing to do it than old people because of the law of diminishing intent. They're brand new. So what do you need to do to fuel your growth? Start like you're brand new. Start like you're brand new. Talk to all your warm market again. Go talk to everyone in this phone. Reach out to them. Make sure they know about the Bank Breezy funding platform. Everyone you know needs to know about this life jacket. Every one of them needs to know about the life jacket and the extra engine and the fuel. They need to know about Bank Breezy business funding platform. They all need to know it. And you got to recruit new people. And as you recruit new people, guess what's going to happen? They're going to get clients. Their ignorance on fire, but they know enough because they believe in the mission of Bank Breezy. They watch the Get Started training. They watch the onboard training. They watch the business opportunity overview. They love it, and they're going new. You know, that's all it is. That's all this business is keep building new and keep making available to all the old an opportunity with free support. Keep rewarding your super producers with amazing pay. Reward the supers, attract the new, support the old. Nobody else in the industry can do that for free except you. There's not another company in the home-based business space that can say what we just said. You need to have the same, now 30 years I've been doing this, so I already know what sucks about these other, helping these people when you can't make money. My call with Bank Breezy today, team, was how do we get a higher percentage to accept the offer? What do we got to do to make sure 100% who get approved take the offer? How do we got to say it, position things on the front end to make sure more say yes? How do we have to change the expectation in the agent's eyes to the client's eyes so they know what the price is and aren't surprised that they got approval for 100,000? They thought they were going to get 3 million. How do we do a better job of making sure? Because that's our job. That's our job, to make sure that the client is super happy because they had expectations. That's what I'm talking to the Bank Breezy team about this morning, is what do we have to do a better job? And I put it on me to make sure we communicate with you, to communicate with the client, and including things like pre-approval numbers. And we're working on all kinds of things to make our numbers go up, because our job after doing this 30 years is take away your frustrations, take away your slowdowns. You still got to go to the client, but we got to make sure that we're covering the other stuff. And we're always improving on that, because we know that the better we do that, the more of these people, instead of 70% being inactive, maybe only 60% will be inactive, and another 10% will become super active instead. And instead of you recruiting one person a month, maybe you recruit 100 a month, because you're like, this is the best thing since sliced bread. So income producing assets, new. If you don't have production from your old and you're not going new, you're not in business. You're in the sidelines cheering on the DAC team on the field. You're not here to cheer on the DAC team, right? You're here to build. That means you need to be talking to new clients yourself. You need to be working with new agents, not counting on your old ones who've already proven they're not doing it. We're still supporting them, right? You can still send them an email. You can still make sure they read the thing and come into the Tuesday call. You can still text them thinking about you, here to help you anytime you want help, but you don't count on them to build your income. They're like a rental property that's vacant. No one's leasing it yet. You only get paid on the properties where there's rent coming in. Every person you recruit's like a rental property. Some are vacant, some are dilapidated, some are negative, and you don't want to rent them out. And others, man, they're just, you got a 30-year lease and you're going to get paid every single month, but you can't have them until you recruit them. And you got to go through this every single week. You want to be looking at, what are the numbers? What are the numbers? What does my recruiting numbers this week look like? What does my old production look like? You're personally enrolled and your team. And then what am I doing to drive my personal number? What am I doing to drive my personal number? That's all this is new people knowing about my client, my Bank Breezy funding platform, new knowing about that, beautiful, new knowing about my business, new knowing about this, new knowing about that, following up with your old super producers, following up with your old clients, and encouraging your inactives. I wish, oh Lord, I wish someone would have taught me this and known this when I got in this industry. Because, oh my goodness, the amount of years I spent chasing the wrong people, trying to light fires under people that were wet wood. Instead, just go through your backyard and rake up some new twigs. Just rake up some brand new wood. Just find some new lumber. Don't keep trying to light the old rotten wood that's in the wood stack already. The wood stack already, if they're not doing it, I don't mean rotten wood like they're bad people. Follow the analogy. These people may dry out and get active one day, but for you to count your business in their hands, for you to put in their, but I got 100 of them. I got 3,000 of them. I got 300 of them. Okay, what did they do this week? Okay, so are you wasting all your time trying to get that group, whether it's one person, 100,000 or 1 million, to do something? Is that what you're trying to do? Get them to do something? And when you don't realize that if you and your entire team who are active just did this, new roster, new roster, new roster. Michigan might make it to the Sweet 16 on a team that was worse in the Big Ten last year because they did new roster. New roster. New roster. You got a free business. You got a partner with us page, davidallencapital.com/partner/your ID. You could recruit 10 new roster people today who can go through the onboard training tomorrow, who can then go through the funding training the next day, who could then be doing a game plan with you the next day, who can then be talking to clients and bringing in new revenue. And they can also be talking to new agents, bringing in new revenue. Deck 1, Deck 2, Deck 4, you're earning on it. And by the way, we're working on stuff you'll even be able to earn on level 2, 3, 4, 5, even if you're not Deck 1, Deck 2, Deck 4. We're working on other ways to pay beyond just level 1. But it's not going to be for everybody. Can't pay everybody on everybody and not require production. But there will be an easier way for you to get level 2, level 3, level 4. So hang tight for that. Okay. Whew, man, this motivates the heck out of me. Hope I'm going to build a new team. I've recruited 4 or 5 people this week. I'm not in recruit mode because I can't support the way you guys might be able to support. I'm as it is burning the candle at both ends, trying to get everything ready in DAC. So new agents, I tell them when they join, I can't support you. Like I'm got to be in court again. I was in court earlier, got to be in court later. I can't support you the way other people can. Who are full-time in the field or even part-time in the field. I can't give you. So if you're going to work with me, you got to be more independent, and I'll follow up with you periodically, but I can't, and I can't hold your feet to the fire and hold you accountable every day. And that's not, I can't do it. We could team you up with someone else, but I still recruit 4 or 5 people a week who understand that and still join. And that means there's always this happening. And there's not many weeks go by that I don't get at least a few $1,000s in overrides on brand new people each week. Every week, there's not many weeks that go by that I don't earn overrides on new teams. Very, very rarely do I earn less than a couple grand a week on this that I'm telling you. And there's no reason you can't. And I'm not in the field trying to recruit. And that money's there. That's why I don't take a salary. That money's there for you. It's there for you and it's there for me. But I'm teaching this because I believe this. I'm teaching this because I believe this. And I'm teaching this because I believe this. I can't make them do something, but I cannot profit on them. You see why we don't charge? Because I don't want to profit on all these inactives. I'm hoping one day this one gets active. Life change, something happens. The kids are now all in school and she's got time now. And she's been watching DAC, and now she runs and goes, my roots are here because I've been watching, and you haven't taken advantage of me, and you've been there plowing into me, pouring into me. Here we go, let's go. And all of a sudden, boom, she explodes. Or he explodes because he finally got out of that stressful job, or that relationship that was keeping him down, or whatever, or that addiction that was stuck, had him stuck, and we got out of the addiction, and whatever. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm not going to profit at their expense. But I'm also not going to tell you to stick around and hope they do it, and that's where you're going to make all your money. No, new and super. The new production, the super producers, and your old producers you encourage. That's it. Encourage, drive the heck out of, not drive them, drive the heck out of new recruits. And love on your old producers. That's the business model of every home-based business company that allows you to build a team. They won't tell you that because they can't offer that. They'll tell you to get everyone to do just pay the fee. Pay the fee. You got to do your fee. Got to qualify every month. You got to get paid to get qualified. Got to get paid and they're going to get $200 a month on this one and 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 $49 renewal on this one and 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 this one. And they don't care whether you ever make a check or not because they're making $75,000 a week on renewal fees and auto ship fees. And they're doing 3-4 million on startup $500 costs and $300 costs. And they're not really concerned. They're not in the business of earning on your success. They're in the business of earning on you getting started. Let's not let them beat us. They are right now. Let's not let them keep us quiet. There's people making 100 grand a month who don't want anyone to know about DAC. Because if they know about DAC, then they're going to listen to this and they're going to realize the reason their enrollers make 100 grand a month is because they're making it on internal consumption of 13,000 people in their team, all spending $200 a month. And no one's selling the product to end customers. It should be a crime. It should be a crime. Internal consumption should be a crime. It shouldn't be allowed for qualification. You want to have a monthly qualification? Great. Don't allow your own purchases to count for it. If you buy $200 worth of product, get it. Get it at wholesale, but it doesn't count toward qualifications. Watch what happens. Like a giant toilet. Flush that right down because most people are buying just to qualify. Guys, we got a better model and we're getting spanked in the face by other home-based business companies. They're kicking our butt. Why aren't we doing $1 billion already? You got companies doing what I just said is bad, doing $5 billion a year in sales, $8 billion a year in sales, $3 billion a year in sales. Is our moral compass that bad that we'd rather make 100 grand a month on 17,000 people buying $300 of overpriced stuff? Is that where the moral compass of America is? Or can you and I, can we, a small army of people, go, no, 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 we're different. We're different. We're bringing something in the marketplace that's going to kick the tail of every home base. We're going to change the way the industry's done. If the FTC isn't going to require this, then buyer beware. The best mousetrap will become the one that sold the most. We got work to do. We got the best funding platform. There's no one up even close to us, and we're moving faster and faster. And you know what? Bank 3Z's not good enough. We got to even get better. We're working on that platform to make it even better and better and better. But you know what? You and I need to work on this better. What's your new team going to look like this week? How many more people are you adding to the team this week? Don't know how? Go watch the Tuesday team trainings. We've been talking about it for months. It's on the DAC YouTube page. Go to the playlist called Team Building Trainings and watch it. And how many new people you can have by Tuesday? When we do this live again Tuesday night next week, when we do that presentation again Tuesday night at 7:30 next week, how many new people are you going to have join before then? Who to go to your partner with us page. And they can bring people out to the Tuesday night call and say, hey, we want you to get started now, but we want you to come see David live Tuesday night, ask him your questions. Come on out Tuesday night. He's doing a biz op presentation and then taking questions and comments afterward until we're done. It may go a half hour of questions and comments or an hour. We don't know. There's no training immediately followed. It's presentation. I want you to see. I want you to meet him. I want you to talk to him. I want you to ask questions. This is the foundation of the company that puts all this stuff out there that really does care about these people to not make money on them, cares about these people to give them an opportunity, cares about these people to reward the heck out of them if they're out producing other people. They figured this out over the last 30 years, and you know what? The world doesn't know yet, but they're going to know. They're going to know. And if you're smart, you're looking at this going, holy crap, I see it. And not only do I see it, I can see why you're going to have 100,000 active agents and you're going to get 400,000 active customers a week. And you're going to then do, holy crap, you're going to have 1.6 million new customers a month. You're going to be doing billions in funding every month. You're going to move the whole needle of business ownership, where every business owner out there, the 8 out of 10 who are closing down because they don't have working capital, are going to have solutions. You got to be kidding me. I see it. I see it. I see it. And I don't care if they don't. We're not hurting them. I don't care if they don't. We're not hurting them. And I don't care if I recruit 20 and only one gets it. I'm recruiting 20 more. And I don't care if 19 don't get it, we're not hurting them. I'm getting 20 more. And I don't care if 19 don't get it, I'm not hurting them. I'm getting 19 more. And over time, I'm going to have 50 or 100 personally enrolled agents called an income producing asset, where I'm going to make 10% minimum of what they make. But by golly, I'm going to make a lot more than that. I'm going to make 25% instead of 10. Because I'm going to be an active customer getter. Because by golly, this is too darn good for business owners not to know about this funding platform. That is what you got your hands on. That's why we do these live Zooms. I didn't know I was talking about all this, but you see what's in there? Is it in there for you yet? Do you buy this? You may go, man, I don't see it, Dave. You're getting a little lunacy out there, getting all excited. Hey, that's okay. People thought Rocket Mortgage guy was crazy too. I know, because I know when he sold his business to Quicken and then bought it back from Quicken. I know. And I know because United Wholesale Mortgage, the world's largest wholesaler in the world, is right up the road from us. And if you drive through Pontiac, Michigan, their buildings are sprawling and sprawling and sprawling and sprawling and sprawling with new hires, stadiums being built, all kinds of stuff, competing with Rocket, who's 10 miles up the road, because they believe they could do it too. And you know what? I believe DAC is going to be the leader in business. They're already the leader in business funding, but we're going to be the largest funder as well. And don't worry, I've already had public companies try to buy our company in the past. We've had people offer to buy into our current company we've said no to. But I've already had public companies offer us millions of dollars to buy into our company in the past where I could get rich and walk away. Don't worry, we're going to have Rocket Mortgage offering to buy us one day, or other big companies offering to buy us one day. It's probably going to happen, God willing. I can't say for sure, but God willing, this vision comes out, and what happens, these big billion-dollar companies try to buy it instead of build it, because you can't build what's been built. This is not easy to build. You got to have nuances, and you got to understand it. You got to care, and you can't just buy that. But there will be companies that come along and buy it, and just know that we've already had that opportunity. My mom's on this call right now. My dad's probably on this call. They've been in those boardroom meetings when we've been offered retirement type money and said, no, we're not going to do that to the agents. We're here to build a business where they can have an income producing asset for the rest of their life. And you know, those companies still today generate revenue for those companies. I could have sold and left. And it doesn't make me all mightier than thou. There's nothing wrong with selling. But I'm promising you, just like I don't want to earn on you here, I don't want to build something on your backs and sell it and get rich. And you guys go, we're the ones who built that thing. We'll make a percentage and we're okay with that. And if you're a leader, you'll make a much higher percentage on your team than we do. So don't worry about when Rocket Mortgage wants to buy us. The answer is going to be no, unless we can keep doing exactly what we're still doing. The reps got to be able to get paid the same way. And I'd rather be Century 21 starting from scratch than buy one to say I'm them. We'll build this and we won't need to be sold. We're debt free now. We don't need money. We need more new people who are active. We need to encourage those who aren't. We need to reward the super producers, and we need new. Help us do that, and you win. Okay, I'm off my soapbox. I'm excited. This coffee's cold, but I'm going to have it. Anyone have any questions or comments? I see a lot of comments in the field. If you're seeing the vision, throw some sevens in the comments that you're seeing the vision. Let's see what we got here. Any questions out here that need to be talked about that anyone wants to holler out to me?
Dave Banks wants to speak with you.
Go ahead.
Hey, David, good morning.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Dave.
Hey, exciting meeting. I was curious, when we're doing our cold email outreach, are we allowed to put the DAC logo on our email footer?
Yeah, the independent agent one.
Okay.
So you could pull the independent agent right from your DACRC, dacrc.com, the resource center. Under
Right.
logos, you have an independent agent logo. You can put it on there.
Great. Thank you.
Yep, absolutely. Great question. Okay, I see a lot of sevens. Thank you. Thank you. All right, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, beautiful, beautiful. All right. Well, you can see, guys, if this message, for those of you put sevens, you're either here, right? Or you're here. You're fairly new and excited, or you're producing and excited, or you're in the middle and you're still trying to get productive. But if you see it, if 100,000 people heard this message today, how many of them would be putting in sevens? And if 1 million heard it, how many would be putting in sevens? And if of those 1 million people, 700,000 in your team, what are you earning? How many millions of businesses are you helping? That's the front of the arrow right there, guys. That's the front of the arrow. The front of the arrow. These are the whatever those feathers are called. Those help guide it. Your overproductive ones help guide it. But the front of the arrow is what breaks the resistance, baby. This is how you drive your paycheck. New production. Support the rest. Guided by the leadership. New ignorance on fire. Guided by the leadership. Everyone in between, they're part of it. They make up part of the body. That'll be a training one day. Thank you, God, for that message. God bless you all. I don't see any questions or comments, so let's just rock and roll. Let's go get them, everybody. Front of the arrow, be it.